Hello,
Good morning.
how are we all today?
Well, as for me, I'm doing pretty great. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well myself. What about the audience? I feel like so much has happened. Like, I swear, it's like as soon as we turn the camera off, so much stuff happens. And it's like, I won't sit here for a couple days.
For real, I feel like we have so much drama, but none at all. We protect our peace, but protecting your peace comes with a lot of complications in the process.
So what happens when you protect your peace? Things go wrong. What do we have to talk about today?
Well, first, I'm going to comment on how both of us seem to be having good hair days. Our hair, I feel like, is nice today. It's like falling very nicely, both of us.
I don't know, I just kind of brushed my hair this morning.
It looks good. I
Thank
really
you.
like it. So, I don't have anything in specific that I want to talk about. Well, that's kind of a lie. I have a few things that I wanted to talk about, but it's definitely
She wrote
not.
a lot down, actually.
Some of it was just personal for her, but oh, okay. So we kind of briefly discussed this maybe over text messages, but you have more power when you're single.
That part. That
Yes.
part.
So my thoughts that I wrote down because I like writing them down. So when you're single, you don't have to devote your time to a relationship, which is much more difficult than a friendship because there's much more nuance. A romantic relationship requires daily conversation and communication plus multiple get-togethers a week. A lot of friendships can survive without seeing the other person for months at a time, so it's extremely different. Would you agree?
I definitely agree, and I feel like something like this too that we do every Saturday. If like I feel like if I was in a relationship with somebody, that I don't be like that's a little more difficult to do, but I feel like it's hard to like work around that at the same time with like my work schedule and then coming here and then just like hanging out with my significant other and or hanging out with friends, even as summer progresses. So I definitely do agree with that.
Yes. I feel like I already have so much time that I devote not only to myself, but to my family and to my other friends that I feel like if I were to get into a relationship, like I would not be able to satisfy them. I wouldn't be able to give them the time they need. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know when I'll ever be ready for a relationship, but I know it's not for a good bit because we still have a lot of stuff that we want to do in our lives. And so, like, just so much traveling, so much experiences,
Yes.
schooling still with college. It's crazy.
Yes. And I feel like you have more power. I feel like the power is in that you can accomplish anything you want to do. You have so much more freedom. And that's not to say that I don't encourage people to get into relationships. In fact, like I'm honestly jealous of people that can balance their lives with their like dating life, but I just don't know that I can.
I feel like that works if your other significant other is, I don't know, like just as busy as you are, or if like they
Yes.
have the same like mindset, like they have a goal that they want to reach.
Agreed. And here's the thing is that I don't think in our existing circle or in our existing community, there's anybody with the same mindset as us. So,
And it's like if you let's say like how I said with my work schedule, like if my significant other like didn't work, that's gonna be hard on their part because they're gonna be bored all the time. But it's like I can't because I have work. But if like they work kind of like same hours, if like maybe at different spots, like
mhm,
you get it,
yes. Okay. Okay, this is somewhat related, but it's kind of a silly one. My man has to be a reader. He has to be well read and articulate, and I feel like it's so much better if he reads books because I feel like there's not even an explanation necessary for this. But
Mm.
would you agree?
I would agree with this. Like street smart is I wanna if you were to be both street smart and book smart, that's like perfect. But definitely being book smart is very important because I don't even know, like you have that sense of like intelligence.
Intelligence and also empathy. I feel
Mhm.
like even if you're not reading nonfiction books, because I know that there's a lot of guys who will say that they read and they only read self-help books. Okay, but do you read fiction? Like, I feel like if you read fiction, you are more likely to be an empathetic person, and that's
I feel like that doubles on like the same mindset part,
yes.
and there's another part, or it's like how it's like written by. We want a guy written by a woman,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
and
We've seen that posted everywhere, and I feel like
mhm.
that's so accurate.
Or it's like to be loved by a writer or like a poet. You sent
Yes.
me those.
Yeah, I feel like if my significant other is a writer or enjoys anything in the literary world, I will be satisfied because I feel like it's so romantic to be seen through the lens of somebody that is a creative. And people that aren't creative, like even if you aren't a writer, like if you even if you're an artist, I feel like if somebody looks at me and they aren't immediately thinking like, "Oh, I have a poem for this," or "I have an art piece for this," then I'm gonna be like, "Okay, well,
I'd actually die like on the spot, and I feel like us with our mindset, we think so outside of the box. We think so like out there. I mean, we do think like reality wise, we are very grateful for where we stand, where we live, but we're also very like
yes, our dreams are very out there, but we have the same mindset that it's like it's going to happen."
it's like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's so outside the box, just so like out there. I don't even like. It's so hard to describe. It's more of like a
Yeah,
feeling
it is. It
than
is more of a
being able to
feeling.
describe.
I feel like also part of it is like we have faith in these the outcome of things. And so we're able to be more creative with our dreams. Like we're almost like, oh, there's this like really probable future of us like traveling together. Even though we know that like, okay, that's realistically difficult, we're like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Our significant other's gonna be like this. Like we're not afraid to set standards for ourselves because that's just the way we do it.
Exactly. And like I explained to her, I was like, because she wants to maybe teach in Japan, and I maybe want to study abroad in Japan. I said if we go to like the same place, and or like we just rent the same apartment,
Hmm.
it'd be easier for like living lifestyles,
Hmm.
But I mean, again, we don't know the future will bring. We could just go to like Cali together because we want to go to Cali. She goes to
Yes.
California all the time,
Yes.
but well, definitely. We put
Yes.
trust in the universe.
We do put trust. Yes.
Like fake it till you make it. That's a big one.
Agree. Yes. Okay. Our next topic. I'm a lover of women with weird or niche interests. Like, I feel like guys, whenever they have an interest, nobody sees it as weird or niche. It's just like, oh, you like this random ass video game? Okay, that's fine. But I feel like with women, there's like this community of us, like, who have these just like really strange interests or like fixations. And I think it's so interesting.
I mean, like, so yesterday at work, there was like this one lady that came in, and we were talking about like our like hobbies, our habits and
Mhm.
stuff. She was like, I have some weird little habits, that people don't understand. And I was like, there's no such thing. This top is
Yeah,
really big, so everything keeps falling. But no, it's not like really big. But yeah, I was like, there's no like weird hobbies,
for
It's like I
real.
was like, tell me your hobbies, like
Yeah,
just tell me about them, because there's no such thing.
yeah. People that collect weird things, like if you have a collection of something or like you are really obsessed with like a certain TV show or anything, like I just love people that have fixations because I don't trust a person that I come up to and I'm like, "What are you obsessed with?" and they're like, "Nothing." You're not obsessed with anything?
Like we went to go see the Haikyuu movie on Thursday, and I got back my spark.
Same, bro. Okay, guys, it's just
Cause I like stopped my little anime phase because like I was kind of embarrassed of my like, cause I had a weird, weird, weird anime middle school phase.
mhm,
Like I was a weird kid, but now after like all that again, I'm like, okay,
it's time.
it's time. It's time to
It's
bring her
time.
back
We're
because
mature. We're mature now. We approach our obsessions maturely, guys.
yeah, and she's kilo on gone, kilo on
Yeah,
gone.
for real. And yeah, I just feel like if you don't have an obsession with like a TV show or something.
Mhm.
Who are you?
Who are you?
And if you're not obsessed with anything, how can you be obsessed with me?
Ooh, write that down, write that
Word.
down, write that down. That was a good
Like
one.
if I meet a guy or a girl and they're like, "Oh, I'm not obsessed with anything. I don't really care about anything."
That's like a sign that you're gonna cheat on me.
That's what I mean. Like if you don't care about anything, if you're not obsessed with anything, if you don't like anything, how can I expect you to feel that way towards me?
Like, what do you mean you don't like anything? Like, you don't like yourself? How do I know that you're gonna love me if you don't love yourself?
You're like you don't like yourself?
Then you can't love me. Cute.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, I think I showed you. I taught you.
We do yap before we come here too, so.
Yes. I feel like I saved. Oh,
Oh, yes, it's us.
they're so cute. Okay,
Kill
sorry.
one gone.
So I like. Okay. These are just some things that I've screenshotted over the last week. And I screenshot a lot of things.
I do too.
Alright, these are just some TikToks. Everything you want is waiting for you on the other side of consistency.
Consistency is key.
Yes. I feel like those types of that type of media is like always like a wake up call for me. Like I look at it and I'm like, wow,
She'll send me those and I'm like,
I felt that. I felt
felt it in my chest.
that. Yes.
And consistency is definitely key, especially with us learning languages and us with our instruments. Consistency.
Yes.
Consistency. Consistency. If you're working out, consistency.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Oh, okay. You do have the freedom to select the path of your thoughts and where you direct your focus. Redirecting your attention is like a rebirth.
Protected my peace so much I only hang out with her. That's kind of where we're getting at.
I know, honestly, for real. And I feel like I love this mindset because attention nowadays is everything. What you pay attention to is everything. And I feel like now more than ever, where we redirect our attention is so important.
Definitely. And I don't know, it's just like after high school, knowing what path you're gonna take, I would say is very important. Don't stress about it too much, but I definitely agree with that.
Agreed. And just like focusing on the right things. And again, I can't dictate really what the right and wrong things are to focus on, but if you're only focusing on negative things, let's say,
I
or
hate people who only focus on negative
yeah,
things.
negative people really just they bum me out.
I call them negative Nancy's.
I call them Debbie Downers.
I do call them Debbie Downers too.
Yeah,
You know, negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers. That's people who I steer myself away from. Like
agreed.
I think we've said this in the past that in other videos we're very open to everybody, new friendships and everything, no matter where you're from, what you're doing. But if you're a Debbie Downer, toodles,
Yes,
toodles.
exactly. And if you're negative about your own life,
We can hear you.
oh,
Anyways, guys, continue.
if you're negative, if you're negative about your own life, it's the same. Like, how can I expect you to have like a good outlook of me, if that makes sense? Like, I feel like when you approach other people to be your friends, like, you do need to pay attention to their mindset because their mindset is their world. It's their way of seeing the world. So if they're completely negative or they criticize other people constantly, they're probably criticizing you. They're probably being negative towards you. And even if they're subconsciously doing it, it's important for us to pay attention to our interactions with other people because where other people direct their attention is just as important as where we direct ours. Like you, for example, I feel like I'm able to connect with you so much because we are paying attention to the same things.
Okay, that made me yawn. I don't know.
She's like,
I slept so much last night, but I don't know why. I was like yawning today. Continue.
but yeah, I feel like that's why we're such good friends
Mhm.
because we just were
We even learned more lore about each other on Thursday, and that literally like connected us even more than what we already were.
twin, like
Twin, twin. It's so weird how it's like I feel like not that long ago, like again when we tried to debrief, like when we first started hanging out, that was like at the beginning of the year. Like you're
Yes.
picking up me up from band practice and stuff, and now we're here, and it's summertime. It's so weird.
It's so weird, and I feel like before we used to be like, well, what is there to talk about? Do we have anything we want to talk about? And like that was fine. That's a good, healthy way to go about it. But like now, there's no shortage.
We
There's
can't
no
stop
shortage. We can't
yapping.
stop. Like,
Like we need the whole day together, and I'm gonna see her again tomorrow. Like, are you going tomorrow?
yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'll see her again
I'm
tomorrow.
taking you. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
so we're
Sunday.
good. We're going to a grad party together tomorrow.
I actually get so happy when I like realize I'm hanging out like with you. Like even like
Yes,
tomorrow, like I
same.
get so happy. Like even though you're sitting next to me, I'm like
Yes.
yes.
We're gonna have so much fun. Oh, I actually have some tea about yesterday. How did I forget?
Wait, was that the one you texted me?
No.
Oh,
It's
oh.
more. It's like so much more you don't even realize. Okay, after we get off of here, I'm gonna yap to her a lot more. So,
I'm so excited.
anyways,
I'm
guys.
giggleish. I'm a giggling girl.
Oh yeah, that one was for me, but I love these videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Oh, okay. So I always get these inspirational things on my TikTok, but this one was basically a slideshow with pictures and it was like, Mom, why are we so rich? And then you scroll to the next picture and it was because my mommy never gave up. And I understand that sounds cringe as hell, but they try to make it really aesthetic. And it inspired me because I feel like we always talk about this, but we
Mm-hmm.
want to do better for our kids and we want to be in a very secure place for when we have children.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes when I'm even just yapping to myself and I feel like recording and I post my first I'll be like, hey kids, it's your mom here. So I can like play back to my kids in the future. And I was gonna say something like there was another one like or it was like another like you say like I know it sounds cringe as hell, but it
Yeah.
was like um how your parents can probably be like my kid's in law school. Like why
Yeah.
what gives you motivation to not give up? Like, oh my kid like my kid's like a celebrity or my kid's like written a book or something,
Yeah.
like
And just like having, and like,
because you don't want to be your parents having to say like, oh yeah, no, my kid lives in my basement.
yeah,
I don't.
that's embarrassing.
It's
Like, at a certain point, I can't say that it's embarrassing. Like, if you're getting on your feet, trying to figure out your career, we get it.
if you're like 30 years old.
Yeah, like I know somebody, this is some lore, some like regional lore from like a 10-mile radius around
Mm-hmm.
our area. But there's a family that I know that their dad was literally living with his parents until he was like 45. And he had a job. He just lived with them and then he moved out finally. Like he had kids before he moved out.
That's crazy.
It's just wild to me. I'm not saying that it's the wrong decision because I know I've actually met people that do continue to live with their parents because of the cost of living, which is completely fine, but it was not the case with this person. And I feel
Mm.
like they had the means to get their own home. I'm not going to specifically say what their job was because I feel like that's going a little bit too far, too much information, but they could have moved out and they didn't.
There's some lazy.
Yeah, they were being lazy. They had a really good paying job and like he's married, he had a wife, like he had the means to move out, but he was still burdening his
That's
parents with
love
that.
right there. Like a wife and everything is crazy. That's
Honestly, if I was the wife of somebody still living with their parents, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be in the court with papers.
yes. Like how can I know they're gonna provide for me if you can't even like provide for yourself? I just looked up at a book on the shelf and that's scary. That's scary. Sandman.
I kept looking over at it.
That scared the
It's
shit out of
creepy as hell.
me. That's creepy as hell.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, this one kind of ate. They ate with this one. Maybe it's cringe to you guys. Life is the most difficult exam. Many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing everyone has a different paper.
Stuff like that is so crazy to me. Like I get if people say
Yeah.
like, oh that's cringy as hell, but
When I see that, I do see it as inspiring though, because
especially if I'm laying in my bed and I'm like having a slump and I'm like, I
yes,
could have one, I could have. Or Hope Core. Hope Core is so cute.
yes, I love Hooper so much. But yeah, I really like this one as well because I like how it says that like they show up trying to copy other people, but they don't realize that that's the nature of life is like everything is different. Everybody has a different paper, different circumstances, different like it's
Hmm.
I just think that's a good
I
one.
feel like you look around, you see that a lot, especially with like
Yeah.
trends nowadays and like
Yeah.
the Lululemon Drunk Elephant kids in Sephora. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yes. I feel like everybody's trying to achieve the same aesthetic. And this kind of ties into like a conversation about class and like, upper class, middle class, lower class, all that sort of thing. But like I feel like everybody's trying to achieve an aesthetic that these celebrities and influencers have set into place. They've set into place these really high standards, and now that we have access to so much social media, we everybody's trying to copy it. But at the end of the day, like if you're striving to become like a celebrity or an influencer, sure, like you should try to emulate how like you should try to emulate their success, of course. But like if you're a regular person and you have like goals that are not tied to like that sort of thing, I don't think that you should be trying to like copy other people, especially if it's like I feel like a lot of social media is not real. So like why would you try to copy something that isn't even genuine?
And I feel like a big thing nowadays is if you not like you try to be different, but if you don't follow that standard, like you're quoted as weird.
Yeah,
Like they're like you're weird.
if you don't dress a certain way.
No,
Like I feel like wearing jeans nowadays is even crazy.
people say that's fancy.
Yeah, jeans is fancy. Bro, jeans is my casual.
Jeans is my. I just rolled out of bed.
Yeah. Leggings, workout. Jeans, casual, rolled out of bed. Like this is a casual fit. This is not
This is
dressing up.
casual.
This is casual as hell.
This is
I've
casual
got
for us.
shirt, jewelry, my nails are done, jeans, put together shoes. Like I look good, but this is casual. This is bare minimum.
All the stuff that you've seen us do videos. That's we're just chilling.
Exactly. Like if you want to see me dress up,
I can dress up.
I can dress up, babe.
Dress up. Like no nails done or anything. I literally
Okay, but your nails are still done because they're trimmed and clean.
I need to fuck them.
Like if somebody has dirty nails,
Ew.
you
Ew. That's my biggest pet peeve. Is when people have dirty nails. Not my biggest, but it's one of them.
like a man had dirty nails and he was like, I'd be like, get away from me.
Get away, clean your hands. I think it's because I'm a germaphobe. Are you a germaphobe?
I'm not a germaphobe, but I do value hygiene.
I'm a bit of a germaphobe because of people who don't value hygiene. Like we did a thing in biology no, it's a weird saying like last year now because, well, my last day of school was yesterday, so,
Yeah.
but, where we like swabbed our hands and then
Mhm.
put it on like the petri dish. And it came to me the next day and
That's rough.
I was gonna puke. I was like, oh
You're
my
gonna
god.
puke.
I was in the back of the class. I was like, oh my god. And everyone around me was looking at me like, are you okay?
That's literally scary. That's why I always wash my hands.
And yeah, another big thing is like I always said like this is casual for us. Like I feel like people nowadays will go to us and say that we're like pick me's. Because
Agree. Yeah.
if we're like jeans is casual, you know, like it's not fancy. Like I would never
Yeah.
wear like leggings or anything, like just like
Yeah.
out and about.
It's so weird what other people think of you. Like I think it is insane. Like people will see me dressed up, pretty, looking my best, and I feel like people who are insecure in themselves, like I said, this kind of ties back into what I said about like if you are making friends with insecure people, they will project onto you.
It's like people who wear like hoodies and they don't even brush their hair for like picture day at school.
Yeah.
Like, they don't try.
But like they look at you, and because they're jealous and insecure of themselves, they'll be like, "Why are you trying so hard? Why are you doing this? Why are you looking at me like that?"
So you want to look back on your boring life?
Exactly. Like I went to a birthday party once, and I dressed up pretty nicely because it's a birthday party. It's a party, so I'm going to dress up nicely.
The graduation party tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're going to dress up nice. That's just the way we are. And so I showed up to this party, and there was somebody there that was obviously very insecure, and they accused me of giving them dirty looks, and they were saying that I was trying too hard. And my friend, who was the birthday girl the next day, she told me that this person was accusing me of giving them dirty looks and was saying all these things about me. And I was like, the whole night, minding my own business. Didn't say anything to anybody else. I talked to the birthday girl and I talked to the other person that I was friends with. Never gave any dirty looks to anybody, but people will assume the worst because that's how they feel inside. They feel like crap inside, so they will project all of their insecurities onto you. Doesn't matter what you do. You could literally be sitting there doing nothing and they'll still accuse you of things.
Did you even look at her do you know what she was wearing?
No. I remember her face, but I didn't know any of these people because they weren't my friends. Like they were just random people that I never met before. She met me for the first time ever. We didn't even say hi to each other because it was like the nature of the party was like we just kind of like did our own thing, talked to the people that we wanted to talk to, and it was insane. She was like, "Yeah, like this girl really said to the birthday girl, like my friend, she was like, yeah, like I was gonna take her outside, like I wanted to beat her up." I was like, I was sitting there. I
That's
was sitting
crazy.
there.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So guys, seriously be careful. People will try to gaslight you as well. They'll try to be like, well, you did this to me, you did this, you looked at me like this. If there are no words coming out of my mouth, don't you can't.
If there's receipts,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if I'm if I text you something or if I say something to you, if the words come out of my mouth that is negative, if my actions are negative, whatever, like you can hold me against that. But don't ever tell me that I give you a dirty look. Because there's just no way. Like some people just have RBFs, and I admit that I sometimes have an RBF. Or like a resting sad face.
that's me. People say I have a resting sad face.
Like sometimes I'll be sitting there like and like customers will come in at work and be like, smile more. Why aren't you smiling? And I'm like, it makes me want to frown. It makes me want to just be like,
The old people at my work do that too. Like, I'll walk in, they'll be like, "Oh, why aren't you smiling? You look so pretty when you smile." And I'm just like standing there. I'm just
good thing I'm not being pretty for you.
like,
Good thing I
yeah.
don't wake up and smile for other people.
There was a big thing I heard is like when you first wake up, that's when your mind's like fresh. So that's when you should try to say like good affirmations to yourself in the morning.
Yes.
That's what I've been trying to do recently.
Yes. I need to start doing that too. Like my morning routine is I'm getting it back. Like I'm slowly getting to a
We've
point.
we've been in a slump for like a bit,
Yeah.
and it's like that's something you can admit. Like you can admit that you're in a
Yeah.
slump, and I would admit that.
Yeah, we've been in a slump but I'm getting my morning routine back, which is obviously the first building block. Once my morning routine is like it's good, then everything's good. So yeah, I want to start doing that too. Because I actually Liz, the wizard Liz, we love the wizard Liz. In her most recent video about manifestation, she was also talking to about gratitude and being grateful for where you're at, which I feel like a lot of people talk about that, but I feel like that's important to mention because,
Very important.
you know,
Don't be embarrassed about anything you're doing. But yeah. Anything else?
um, don't. Oh, this is for you. Okay. So somebody was talking about how they feel like they were born to travel and learn about new things because they physically get a sense of longing for the world, but other people don't understand it.
I think that's how I said it's like it's a hard thing to describe. It's more like a feeling.
It is more like a feeling.
Like we need to
It's almost an itch. Yeah. Like we
an
need,
edge.
yeah, like we need to do it to feel fulfilled. And I've met people before that they don't have ambitions to ever leave the region that they're in, not just the city.
I do.
The literal like 20-mile, I can not even 20 miles, 10-mile radius that they live in. They don't want to leave it.
Like how when there's so much. I think that's another big thing. It's like being a reader.
Yeah,
You like there's so much out there. There's so much out there that you'll never be able to know it all, and that's what drives me like insane.
agreed. Like I need to get out there and see these
My
things.
Roman Empire, the Library of Alexandria.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do
What
you
do you mean all
mean?
that information is lost, guys?
What do you mean I can never get that back? Like, what do you, we could live in like 4024 right now. That would have been.
Yes. It's insanity. Oh, okay, so guys, this is why I think that I'm spiritually back on track with the universe. We were walking in the park. Don't, no, don't even. Okay, so basically, I saw this man online. I'll just say it. He's my type. I like him. He's my type, guys. I'm not gonna show the picture, but
I'm gonna look at it though. I don't know if I'll
she's gonna. Okay, so I saw him.
Mhm.
Oh wait. I think I have.
Mm.
So he's great, right? And so we're in the park, and this I just realized this. We're in the park walking, and we see a man. He looks similar to this man, doesn't he? Like same.
The one in the park had a bit more of a stuff.
Real. But who cares, right? I just feel like spiritually the universe is like, there you go.
Yeah. That's your man. Go get your man.
Okay, but now I'm disappointed because he's walking around with that.
Hey, if you recognize this and you're watching this, hit her up. She's legal age. I'm not, but she is.
He's he'll never know. He's like how is he supposed to know? But honestly, it's fine. The universe wants to give him to me, then sure.
Do you ever I don't even know. I know we said about outfits, but you ever have an outfit and it's like, I don't know if it's like revealing and you sit there and you kind of feel like, after a while you're like, I feel like a whore.
Yes. I feel the same way. I don't like it is a personal preference because I don't like
Yeah, that's why I brought my jacket with me, but like it's not
yeah,
cold in here or anything.
like I do not care what other women do. In fact, like I encourage women to wear whatever they want.
Literally.
Truly, like I do not care. I think women are so beautiful. But this area, I just don't like showing off.
And I was like leaning forward a little bit. I was like, oh, no.
Like I love like there's just certain things that I feel like confident in. Like I can wear like a mini skirt. I can wear a mini skirt, but not short shorts. Make it make sense.
I think it's because it's like a little bit more coverage. Obviously not a lot of coverage.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, guys,
I
but
can wear skirts. I can't wear shorts.
yeah, like it's just a thing. Oh, okay, so this person made a list. I just put this person made a list where it's called the "You Don't Get My Presents" list, and this is basically I think they were talking about like their future romantic partner, but I feel like this can also be with friends, and I thought this was a really good list because it goes through kind of what we were talking about, how like don't interact with people that are just gonna be like negative to you. Okay. Rude, rude when angry, or always angry.
People who are
I
always
hate angry people. I'm related to some angry people.
both of us.
I just don't like angry people. And I get it if there's something you're frustrated about. Frustration is different than anger. But anger with no foundation, and just anger when you're on public too. Like, please sit down. Please be polite and respectful and remember your place.
I hate that when we like go out or it's like I don't know, they're rude to like sometimes even when I'm at work, people who are rude to like me at work,
Yeah.
to customers or patients. What
And
composed you?
and then there's like I understand that there's the excuse of like I'm having a bad day. Oh, great. I'm having a bad day too. Does it look like I'm mistreating you?
No.
No. And I understand that part of that is my job, but it doesn't matter. If I were the customer, if the situation were flipped, still wouldn't be treating anybody like shit. I'd still be nice.
Exactly. No matter how many bad days I've had at work, I'll always, smile with my patients, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just a thing.
reflect.
Oh, okay, wait. There's some more things on this list, but I'm not gonna list all of them. Okay. Race's voice has zero patience and no emotional intelligence. I need somebody that's patient. I need people that are patient in my life. I like gentle, patient, calm people.
Sometimes I can be a little, I feel like sometimes I can like, I don't know. My mom would probably agree to this sometimes, because I don't even know, because I get like, yes, I don't even know how to describe it. I get like
Are
my
you,
if and like an attitude from like my mom sometimes. Not like
okay, but an attitude is fine. An attitude
not
doesn't
like
have to be malicious, you
yeah,
know?
but like sometimes I can just be not like, but so I it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
Somebody who's patient with me because I can like yap for a while. I can be like I'm not like off the rails,
Yeah.
but sometimes I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
need someone who can like calm me down. Someone who's
Yeah.
patient.
Okay, so makes empty promises and inconsistency.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Inconsistency, again, like the way that you're treated is a reflection of that person. Let's be real here. If they make an empty promise or they're inconsistent with you, that's just how they are.
And I'll say that's my biggest pet peeve. It's like if someone says they're gonna do something, and then I ask them later, I'm like, oh, did you do this? They're like, oh no, sorry, I forgot. Like I get it like a couple times is fine because things happen. But
Mhm.
if it's a consistency thing, how we said
Yeah.
like biggest thing is like
Yeah.
consistency.
If you're consistently inconsistent, babe,
Babe,
wake up.
wake up. And their excuse is
Yeah.
like, I've been really busy. Okay, I'm busy too, but I asked you for this thing, like, can you please do it?
Yeah. Okay, so the next is I don't know if we should say this, but it's like more about like partners. Wait, we're not gonna say that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at this. We don't want a partner that doesn't have any discipline in regard to like all aspects of their life, including like their intimate life as well. And we also do not want friends that like we don't want our partners to have friends that are bad people. Like I feel like your friends, like I said, like this all kind of ties
Your
back in.
friends reflect you.
They reflect you. Like it all reflects you. So I feel like if you have friends that are cheating and lying and terrible human beings, why are you tolerating them? There must be a reason. It must be a reflection of you. So I'm not gonna go into the rest of these, but they're really good. Oh wait, this is crazy.
Ooh, that's controversial.
We literally just talked about that.
Cause I was actually, yep, I was gonna say something. I was like, we could just like post it on the screen, but after reading that, we're not.
Yeah, we were not gonna say it. It's just again, it's tea, guys. But this person their at is Alyssa Tiana. Alyssa spelled Alyssa, Tiana Tianah, because I really do think that
She
this is
cooked.
she cooked. This list is actually like it reminds me of my standards. It really does. And yeah, this one I don't think we need to talk about. Cool. Daily non-negotiables.
Mm,
I feel like this is a big one of like, what do you do every single day that you're like, I have to do this?
yoga or
Yoga.
stretching. Cause if so, then my body doesn't feel good, and then I won't feel good, and then nobody around me is gonna be good because I'm gonna be like a little rat.
I love it. My daily non-negotiable. Water.
Water's a big
Water for sure. I'm not always consistent with how much water I drink. I know some people are like, I need to drink this specific amount, but I need to drink enough water. Usually, like, my body will tell me if I need more water, if that makes
one. I
sense.
think that's everybody's body, but we listen to our body.
Yeah, that's like the difference. We listen to it, we're like, okay, we know what we need. Um, I also feel like daily hygiene, like, a lot of this is given, but like, also, I know for some people it's not a given. Like, some people don't wake up and are like, okay, I gotta put on deodorant. Like,
Like we get it if you can't do that, but if you can and you choose not to, then that's a big difference.
yeah, again, everything that we say, it's always in the context of like if you are able to. I feel like that just like disclaimer, if you are able to, if you have access to deodorant, if you have access to hygiene products, use them. Like I know so many people that we used to like go to high school with. They'd be stinking up the whole school.
True.
Guys, like
Even so, they've never changed. They've never changed.
it's just yikes.
Yikes.
Oh, Heavy on this one. Heavy on that one, guys.
Heavy on that one people who we just talked about not that long ago. Yup. Yikes.
Damn. Sorry, guys. We're not explaining anything. But that is all I have.
Yeah, I think
That was a pretty good yap session.
that's a good yap session. After these, I feel very energized, you know?
Me too. I feel very good.
It was decently long.
Yeah. It was very long. We just yapped the whole time.
We range from like 30 minutes to like an hour, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We've got made them a little bit shorter, I feel like,
hmm
because the topic, like, I don't want to run through the same topics over and over again.
Exactly. That's what we have to figure out. We have to figure out new topics. So if you're like watching all this through and you have any topics you want us to talk about, please, let us know. If anything,
Yeah.
we could even talk about like, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Also, I feel like we could go into specifics too. Like, a lot of the things we've talked about are pretty general, and like, we've talked a lot about our opinions on things, but like, I feel like we could also choose a topic and go super in depth into that and like do our own research and like talk about it and our feelings and
Yes.
emotions, like state our case on it almost.
And if anything, it's a learning experience for us too.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're still watching this and you have like, anything that you want us to talk about, we're willing to talk about anything.
Yay! Same time, same place next week.
Yep.
Indeed. Toodles.